Hi, it's John Voot, and this lesson is on Come Together by the Beatles from Trinity Rock and Pop Drums, Grade 4. So looking at the sheet music in the book, you've got the song title at the top of the page, and above that it says Technical Focus. So this is one of the technical focus pieces in Grade 4. So beneath the song title, you can see it says intro in a box there. So the first section of the song we're going to be playing is the intro. Beneath that, you've got the style or genre of the piece. So this is a rock piece. And then beside that, we've got the tempo. So it says a quarter note equals 82. So the tempo of this piece is 82 quarter note beats per minute. So a fairly kind of slow to medium tempo. And then beside that, it says 2 bars counting in brackets there, just letting you know when you play this with a track, with a backing track, there's going to be 2 bars of counting before the piece starts. Okay, so if you look at the first bar of music, you've got your percussion clef there, let you know it's drum notation on the stave, and then beside that, the time signature is 4/4. So the 4 at the top, 4 beats in the bar, 4 at the bottom tells you the note value of a beat is a quarter note. So we've got 4 quarter note beats in the bar. And then in the first bar of music, we've got a rhythm there. So we've got 2 8th notes on the ride cymbal. Then we've got 3 16th note triplets or semi-quaver triplets on the hi-hat. So that's on the downbeat. And then we've got 8th note on the upbeat. And then we've got 16th note triplets or semi-quaver triplets for the whole count, so on the downbeat and the upbeat on the medium tom on the 3rd beat. And then we've got 16th note triplets or semi-quaver triplets on the downbeat of 4 on the floor tom. And then we've got 8th note on the upbeat of 4, so that and of 4 on the floor tom. So you've got da 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 da. Okay, so that's the rhythm. So like I said, 2 rides, 8th notes on the one. They're played with the bass drum as well, so in unison. So we got. Then we're on to the hi-hat for the 16th note triplets on the downbeat, 8th note on the upbeat. So you can play that as single strokes, right, left. And then we're on to 16th note triplets on the downbeat and the upbeat on the medium tom. So you can play that as single strokes as well. And then onto the floor tom, so a single strokes, so 16th note triplets on the downbeat, 8th note on the upbeat. Okay, so if you work that roll here from the medium to floor tom for beats 3 and 4, you've got 1, 2. Okay, so with that roll, that 16 note triplet roll there, you want to make sure it's nice and even. Okay, the rhythm's nice and smooth and it's unaccented. So that's one of the technical focus elements of this song. Okay, so playing the semi-quaver triplets or the 16 note triplets nice and even in this in these parts of the song. Okay, nice and even in terms of the rhythm. Okay, so make sure each note is in the right place. It's got a nice smooth flow to the rhythm, and also it's unaccented. Okay, so it's nice even sound to those 16th note triplets. So putting that bar together in bar 1, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and beneath the bar, you've got the dynamic MF, which is short for mezzo forte, half loud. Okay, so when you play this bar, just make sure you're playing it about the normal playing level for rock music. Okay, you don't want to be playing it too loud or too quietly, so right in the middle there. Okay, so that's the first bar, and then you've got 3 1-bar repeats for the rest of line 1. So you play bar 1 another 3 times. So you play it 4 times in total, and you can see above the 3rd 1-bar repeat, you've got the number 4 there in brackets. So that's the 4th time of playing that bar there. Okay, then we've got a double bar line, and that brings us to the end of the intro. Okay, so we've got a 4-bar intro, so we're going to put that together. Make sure you work on the flow of those 16 note triplets. As like I said, it's one of the technical focus elements of this piece. Okay, so make sure it's smooth and unaccented. Let's try line 1, which is the intro. And now we'll try the intro in time with the backing track. Okay, so remember, you've got a 2-bar counting, and then we're straight in on the 1 with the ride cymbal, and then you just want to make sure those 16-note triplets are nice and even and smooth. Okay, so make sure the rhythm's really precise, and the dynamic level is the same. Okay, so you're staying at mezzo forte, no accented notes. Okay, so let's try the intro in time with the music. And then we move on to line 2, which starts at bar 5. You can see we've got verse there written in a box. So we're on to the verse. So the first verse, we've got 8 notes on the floor tom. So we're going to play that one-handed. So with the lead hand, just playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we've got a quarter note bass drum underneath that. Okay, just keeping the downbeats on the bass drum. And beneath the bar, it says strong 4 fill. Okay, so you want to feel those downbeats for this groove. Okay, so just 1, 2, 3, 4. You really want to feel that. So although you're playing 8 notes on the floor tom, you want a strong 4 feel. Okay, so that bass drum will really drive the 4 feel for this groove. Okay, so that bar, so bar 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so keep the energy there. Okay, you're still at mezzo forte for this groove as well, and after that bar, bar 5, you can see we've got 3 1-bar repeats. So you play that number 3 times, and then coming into the next line, which starts at bar 9, we've got another 2 1-bar repeats. So we play bar 5 another 2 times, so that's 6 times. And then we move into bar 11, where we've got a crash cymbal on the 1. And then the bass drum rhythm beneath that, we've got a dotted 8th note on the 1, 16th note on the out of 1, quarter note on 2, dotted 8th note on the 3, 16th note on the out of 3, quarter note on 4. So you've got 1, a 2, 3, a 4 on the bass drum. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and obviously that crash on 1, and then in the final bar of the verse, which is bar 12, you've got that same bass drum rhythm and no crash in this bar. So those 2 bars, bars 11 and 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that brings us to the end of the verse. Okay, so we're going to put the whole verse together now, those 2 lines, lines 2 and 3 of the piece, bars 5 to 12. And the other technical focus element in this piece is the solo bass drum. So where you're playing the bass drum by itself in bars 11 and 12, you just want to make sure you're rock steady with that rhythm. Okay, you're hitting all those bass notes in the right place. Okay, be really accurate with the bass drum. Okay, so make sure you work on that and incorporate that into the verse now. All right, so we're going to put the whole verse together. So let's try that, bars 5 to 12. And now we'll try the verse in time with the backing track. Okay, so keep a strong 4 fill for that floor tom groove. And as there's no backbeat in the groove, you really need to be precise. Okay, so it's a simple rhythm to play, but because you haven't got that backbeat to hold on to, which normally holds the groove together, you've got to make sure your internal time is really secure. Okay, so really feel the rhythm. So because you're playing simple rhythms, you don't really need to think too much about the rhythm, which means you can think more about how you're playing, okay? So you can really portray the energy into this song, that driving feel for this groove. Okay, and make sure when you come to that final 2 bars of the verse, where the bass drum's playing by itself, again, you're really secure with the rhythm, okay? Hitting those bass drum notes in the right place. Okay, so feel those downbeats. Okay, so really make sure you're secure with the groove where you haven't got that backbeat to hold you together, okay? So make sure you're really feeling it internally. So let's try the verse in time with the backing track. And at the end of bar 12, you can see we've got an end repeat sign. Okay, so there's no start repeat sign before that, so that means we repeat from the start of the piece. Okay, so we go back to bar 1, we play through the intro again, and we play through the verse again. Okay, so after that we move on to the next line, which is the chorus, which starts at line 4 at bar 13. So for the chorus, we bring in the snare drum now, so we play a bass drum on the 1. Okay, of the first bar of the chorus, bar 13, snare drum on the 2, bass drum on 3, snare drum on 4. Okay, so now we're bringing in that backbeat on the 2 and the 4. Beneath the bar, we've got an F, which is short for forte, which means loud. So we bring the dynamic level up for the chorus. And then in the next bar, bar 14, we've got the same thing, but we just rest on the 4. Okay, so we just play bass on 1, snare on 2, bass on 3. So those 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then moving into the next bar, you're playing the same thing you played in bar 1. Okay, so those 8th notes on ride, 16-note triplets on the downbeat, 8th note on the upbeat on hi-hat, and then 16-note triplets for the downbeat and upbeat of 3 on the medium tom, 16-note triplets on the downbeat of 4 on the floor tom, 8th note on the upbeat. Okay, so we're moving back to that familiar bar, and we're coming back down to mezzo forte, and we're repeating that 3 times for the rest of the line. Okay, so we're playing that 4 times for that line. So the chorus is those 2 bars of groove where we're bringing the backbeat, and then 4 bars of the 16-note triplet rhythm. Okay, so let's put that together now to play the chorus. And now we'll try the chorus in time with the backing track. So keep that solid groove at the start of the chorus, make sure you rise the dynamic level to forte, and then bring it back down to mezzo forte for the 16-note triplet bar. Okay, keep it really smooth again, just like you did in the intro, to make sure there's no unaccented notes in that rhythm, and the rhythm is really precise and even. Okay, so let's try chorus in time with the music.
One thing I can tell you is you got to be free. Come together right now over me. Shoot. 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 Heat back production.
And then we come into the next line, which is another verse, which starts at bar 19. And you can see there we've got the sign, the segno sign. So we're going to be coming back to this point at some point later in the song. Okay, so just take note of that segno sign, where it is, so you know where to come back to. All right, so we've got the same groove in this verse that you played in the previous verse. So those 8th notes on the floor tom, bass drum playing downbeats. And again, it says strong 4 fill underneath the bar. So you want to make sure you're keeping a strong driving 4 fill to this groove. Okay, you're playing the groove 6 times, so we've got 5 1-bar repeats, and then we've got the same 2 bars at the end of this verse that you had in the previous verse as well, where the bass drum's playing that solo rhythm. Okay, so again, make sure it's really secure. Then we move on to the next page. So we've got another chorus at the start of the next page, which starts at bar 27. You're playing the same first 3 bars that you played in the previous chorus. So that backbeat groove, bringing the backbeat on the snare for the first 2 bars, raising the dynamic to forte, dropping it down to mezzo forte for the 16-note triplet or semi-quaver triplet bar. And then we've got a change up in bar 30. So we've got the same first 2 beats of bar 29. Okay, so there's 8th notes on the ride and bass drum, so 1 and 16-note triplets on the downbeat, 8th note on the upbeat for the second beat on the hi-hat, so 2 and and then we got a 16th note on a downbeat of 3 on the high tom, an 8th note on the E of 3, so you've got 3 E on the high tom, so right, left, and you got a 16th note on the A of 3 on the medium tom, so you're going to play that left hand, and we've got a 16th note on the downbeat of 4 on the medium tom, so that would be F4, so left, right on the medium tom, and then we come down to the floor tom for a 16th note on the E, so you're going to play that left hand, and an 8th note on the and of 4, so E and. So the rhythm for those 2 beats is 3 E, F4 E and. So right, left, left, right, left, right. So you got 1, 2. Okay, Okay, so putting that together with the first two beats, which like I said is the first two beats of the previous bar, that 16-note trumpet rhythm bar. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that fill ends that chorus, so it's a shorter chorus than the previous chorus, so just 4 bars now instead of 6 bars that you played in the previous chorus. Okay, so we're going to put that together now, that line. So line 1 of the second page, bars 27 to 30. And now we'll try that chorus in time with the backing track.
Come together right now over me. Right.
And then we come into the next line, which is the instrumental, which starts at bar 31. So we've got a 1 bar groove for the instrumental. You're going to play a crash cymbal for 8th notes, so the subdivision of the groove is 8th notes. So we've just got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on the crash, and a nice simple bass and snare drum rhythm. 8th notes on the 1 on the bass, snare drum playing backbeat on 2, quarter note 3 on the bass drum, snare drum playing backbeat at 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you've got 2 1-bar repeats, so we play bar 31 another 2 times, and then we come into bar 34 where we've got half a bar of that same groove for the first half of the bar, and in the second half of the bar we've got a 2-beat fill. Okay, so for this 2-beat fill you've got the same rhythm that you played in the previous line, but now you're playing all 3 of the notes on the 3rd beat on the high tom. So you've got 3E, A on high tom, right, left, left. Come across the medium tom for 4E, so right, left, and then we come down to the floor tom for the and of 4 with the right hand. Okay, so same rhythm, just slightly different orchestration. So right, left, left, right, left, right. So that'd be 1, 2. Okay, so putting that bar together. So with the first half of the bar, of that bar as well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we come into the next line, which starts at bar 35. We've got that same 1-bar groove that we played in bar 31. And then we've got slash notation in the next bar, which gives us freedom to improvise. So it says cont sim, continua simile for the first 2 beats. We want to continue with a similar groove. So you can play the same groove if you like, the first that we played in the previous bar, or you can embellish the groove a bit, but make sure it's a similar groove. Okay, then for the final 2 beats, so above the final 2 slashes in that bar, it says fill. So you want to play a 2-beat fill. Okay, so you want 2 beats of a similar groove and then 2 beats of a fill. Okay, so you've got freedom to improvise in that bar. So those 2 bars, bars 35 and 36, could be played like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then in the next bar we got slash notation again. Okay, so you want to improvise a groove, a similar groove again, and then we've got 2 beats of slash notation, so continue with a similar groove for those first 2 beats of the next bar, which is bar 38, sorry, and then in the final 2 beats you want to play another 2-beat fill. Okay, so those 2 bars are the same as bars 35 and 36, but you've got a bit more freedom to improvise. So you don't have to play exactly what you're playing in bar 35. You can if you like, but you've got a bit of freedom, okay? So if you want to change it a little bit, you can. And then we hit a crash cymbal in the next bar, which is bar 39. Okay, so just crashing on the 1, playing the bass drum in unison with that crash, okay, to finish up the instrumental section. Okay, so you've got a rest for the rest of that bar, and then a whole bar rest for bar 40. Okay, so you crash on the 1 of bar 39, and then you rest for the rest of that bar, and then rest for the whole of the next bar. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the instrumental, so let's try and put the whole instrumental together. And now we'll try the instrumental in time with a backing track. So as this is the instrumental section of the song, there's no vocals, so it's just the instruments. Okay, so there's going to be people taking the foreground and people supporting. Okay, so if the guitarists are taking the foreground, you just want to support it with that crash 8th note groove, and then when it's our time to fill the gaps with the fills, really make sure we shine with those two beat improvised fills. Okay, so support where you need to support in this section, and take your time to shine when you've got room to shine, okay, for those fills. Okay, so let's try the instrumental now in time with a backing track.
Over me. Right.
And above the final bar of the instrumental, which is bar 40, it says DS al Coda, which is short for Del Segno al Coda, which means we need to go back to the sign, which was at the start of the verse at bar 19. So we play through that verse again, and then we come up to the chorus at the top of the second page. We play the first 2 bars of that chorus, which are bars 27 and 28. And above the end of bar 28, it says to Coda with the Coda sign. So once we've played bar 28, we jump to the Coda, which starts at bar 41. Okay, now for the Coda, so in bar 41, we got that same 16th note triplet or semiquaver triplet bar that we played in this piece in the intros and the chorus. Okay, and we're back to mezzo forte for that bar. Okay, so we played that bar at mezzo forte every time. And then we got 2 1-bar repeats. We play bar 41 another 2 times. And in bar 44, we got the first 2 beats of that same bar. Okay, so of bar 41, the first 2 beats are the same there. And then we've got a 2-beat fill for beats 3 and 4, which is the same fill you played at the end of the chorus at the top of the second page. Okay, so that whole bar is the same as bar 30 that you played, like I said, in that chorus, the end of the chorus at the top of the page. Okay, so that sounds like this. Just to remind you, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that fill takes us into the outro, which starts at bar 45. And in the outro, you got the same theme that you played in the instrumental. So we've got that 1-bar 8th note crash groove. And then we've got that bar where we play half a bar of similar groove. So it's slash notation, so we can improvise. So you can play half a bar of the same groove or half a bar of an embellished groove. And then we got 2 beats of an improvised fill. So again, it's slash notation, which means we can improvise. Okay, so we've got 1.5 bars of groove and then half a bar of fill. And we'll do that 4 times. Okay, that's the outro. And then we finish with the crash cymbal. Alright, so we're going to give that final part of the song a go now. So the whole coda. So we've got 1 line there of the 16th note triplet rhythm bar, and then we've got 2 lines of the outro. We're just playing that same groove that we played in the instrumental. We've got some freedom to improvise, and we've got 4 2-beat fills every second bar of the outro. Okay, on beats 3 and 4. So you want to make sure you're playing fills that complement the feel of the song. Okay, so rhythmically, it's quite a simple song, so you don't want to go too crazy with the rhythms for these bars. Okay, so you don't just want to show off to show off. You want to make sure these fills are fitting with the music. Okay, so let's play through that final section of the song now, the coda. So let's give that a go. So bars 41 to the end of the piece. And now we'll try the coda in time with the backing track, okay, so in time with the music. So like I said before, make sure your fills are fitting with the music, okay, so let's give that a try now with the backing track.
Together right now over me. Come together, yeah. Come together, yeah. Come together.
So now we've gone through all the sections of the song. We want to make sure we can flow through all the sections, okay? So pick 2 sections and just make sure you're comfortable transitioning from one section to the other, and then maybe try 3 sections and then just build that up until you can flow through all of the sections, okay? So we're going to go through the whole piece now. So just make sure you're comfortable with all of those transitions. Make sure you've got that 6-note triplet bar really smooth, and that bass drum solo 2 bars as well, really accurate, okay, for the 2 technical focus elements of this piece. And then let's see how it sounds putting it all together. And now we'll try the whole piece in time with a backing track.
Together right now over me. Shoot. 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 He back production, he got Walrus gumboot, he got oh no sideboard, he won spinal cracker, he got down below his knees. Hold you in his armchair, you can feel his disease. Come together right now over me. Right. Come together